Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a how-to video on my DIY leather earrings. I do these earrings with my Cricut maker. I do the vinyl on top, the earring itself, and the backer card. So I'm going to show you how to do the earrings and the vinyl for that, and then I'm going to try to get to the backer card. It just depends on how fast we can get through this. So we'll get started and I'll show you what you need and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is some leather. I use Faux leather. I get this from Etsy. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. The next thing I'm going to need is some iron-on vinyl. Yeah, you're not going to need a whole lot of this because obviously your designs aren't going to be that big. The next thing you're going to need are your earring hoops. The next thing you're going to need are some earring backs. I got these on Amazon as well as the earring hoops. And then to put the earring hoops on, you're going to need some pliers of some kind. I use these jewelry pliers that I got from Walmart. I also am going to use a bag, a clear bag that I've also got on Amazon to put my earrings in. I'm also going to be using my Cricut mini press. I got this at JoAnns. You're also going to need some way to access design space, Cricut design space, so I'm going to be using my iPad today. They just recently got rid of the online version this last January. And then of course you're going to need something to cut with. I'm using my Cricut maker. Cricut Explorer 2s work just fine. And if we get around to it, the other thing you will need is cardstock for your backer card. So that's all the stuff that you will need to complete this project. So let's get started.
Okay, so as I'm talking, I'm also going to be using my iPad and I'm going to screen record this so that you know how to set up your earring and the leather piece and also the vinyl that will go on top. So let's get started. So I'm on my iPad and I'm going to go to Cricut Design Space. It's an app now, so it comes up with all the fun stuff. Today I'm going to create my own project. So I'm going to click on New Project just so that we have the basic board here so that I can show you how to put everything in, because that's, I feel like, is the hardest part. Alright, so the first thing we're going to click is the upload button, and I'm going to upload an image that I already have. So the earring image that I have, I just found on Google as a leather earring photo. So I just clicked on that and I downloaded it and I put it in Design Space. I'm going to upload this one. So as you can see, this is not the shape that I want my line. Okay, so these are together and I don't want them together. I want them to be, I want a separate earring just because I want to be able to size it the way that I need it. So I'm going to click Action down in the bottom, and I'm going to click, I'm going to make sure I'm selected. I'm going to click Action. I'm going to say Hide and Contour. So the things that I don't want my Cricut to cut, or the things that I don't want to see anymore, I'm going to click on those. So I don't want to see this line right here, and I don't want to see this circle, so I don't want those to cut. Okay, so then that leaves you with the one earring. And then I'm going to go to Edit, and this is where I'm going to change the shape and the size of this. So I want it to be 2.5 inches. And I kind of don't like, I always unlock my, okay, and then from there, I'm going to make this one 2.5 inches. It makes it a little fatter, and I kind of like that, kind of don't. So I'm just going to take my tool here and I'm going to shape it to the size that I want it to be. Again, this is all to preference. We put 2.75 on that one and 2.5 here. Perfect. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this image because I want two earrings, right? Not just one. So I'm going to go into Action and I'm going to click the little star icon right here that says duplicate, and now I have two earrings. Alright, so the next step is to upload the image that you want for the vinyl that you want. So I'm going to click the upload button again, and I'm gonna click the upload button, and I'm gonna go to select photo from library, ditch one right here. This is the one that I'm using. I'm gonna make sure I'm clicked on this remove icon right down here, and I want to click out the background of this image. This leaves the black silhouette that I have, and that's what my Cricut is going to cut. And then I'm gonna press next. And then from there, you can smooth out your image if you would like. Mine's pretty smooth. I don't see anything wrong with him. So I'm going to click next again. And then I want to save this image. as stitch. I want to save it as a cut image, and I'm going to save. It'll bring you back to this page right here, and I'm going to click on my image. And down here in the bottom, you're going to see a green check mark, and you want to make sure that the image that you want to upload is in this circle. So I'm going to click insert. Now here's the key part right here. Right now this is going to try and cut on the same paper. I don't want that, so I want to make this a different color. So I'm going to click edit down here, and I want this cut to be a different color, so I'm going to put it in purple. And then the next thing we're going to do while we're in this stage is we are going to size him up so that he will fit on our earring. And then I can test and see what it would look like on my earring itself. So this has got a little bit of overlap. Don't really like that, so I'm going to size him down just a little bit more. Perfect. After we get that done, we're going to make sure to duplicate our guy because we want him on both earrings. Okay, so there's 2 of them, but I don't want them to look similar because they're going to be on different sides of my ears, right? Different sides of my face. So I'm actually going to click on this one right here, and instead of trying to flip it myself, I'm going to click on this edit tool, and I want to click on this horizontal line, and it's going to flip it horizontally for me. So now if I line those up, this is what my earrings will look like. Perfect. So from here we have both sections of the project that we're going to be making. In here we can also add our backer card, which I'm going to show you how to do really quick. I'm going to be adding a shape to my thing. I'm going to add a square. So this square right here is going to be my backer card. So my bags that I bought that I'm linking down in the description below, I'm going to go into action, and I'm going to make this width 2.75. That's how big my card can be before it won't fit in my bag anymore. And then my height, I'm going to make 3.75. And again, these are not linked. Alright, so this is my backer card so far. It's going to cut this file. Again, make sure it's a different color because you don't want it to cut on the same piece of material as your leather or your vinyl. Okay, so this is my backer card. I kind of wanted to spice this up a little bit, so I'm going to add some text. Choose whichever text you want. I'm going to put this on caps, and I'm going to do aloha. So this is my backer card text right here. I need to make sure that my sizing is locked, and I'm going to scale that down. I'm going to stick it down here, and I want this to be, I'm going to click on action. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to click on edit, and I'm going to make this not a cut, but a draw. All right, and I only have a fine point black tip pen, so that's the one we'll be using. I'm going to apply that, and it's going to give you a bubble letter, and that's fine with me. So from there, I'm going to be clicking on the shape again because I need some circles. I wanted to cut out my my circles for to put my earrings in on this card. All right, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to drag it kind of over here into my gray area. I'm going to change the color on this so you can see it. I'm going to change it back, but this little blue mark, that's where my earring is going to go on this card. So I'm going to size this down again. I'm going to make our lives a little easier. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to duplicate this one right here. So I'm going to go to action, and I'm going to click duplicate, and then I'm going to drag the duplicate. I'm going to drag this duplicate over to here, and you can kind of see them line up, and that's what we want. Alrighty, and this is now our backer card. And so the key here is if you go to layers, you want to click on these 4 elements right here. You want to make sure you're selecting all of them. And then what I like to do is I like to attach them. So now this is going to cut as, this is going to be one individual file. So when I go to click it, to click make it, it's going to attach this, and it's going to do it all in one process. So I don't have to unload and reload and unload and reload my mat. There's that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit for you. You can see all these pieces. So the next part of this is to click make it. So as you can see, it's going to give it to us in our 3 different mats. So we have our vinyl, which is on purple. Well, technically it's on white. And then we have our cut and draw. And then we have our cut. So as you can see down in here, we want to make sure that our size is not, if we are using a smaller piece of paper, we don't want to put it in as a 12 by 12 because it's gonna think that you have that much paper. So I'm just gonna do a letter size because that's the size I have for most of these things. I'm gonna make sure to mirror my vinyl sheet. So this is my vinyl sheet because it has the things that I want to cut out in vinyl on here. I want to mirror that, and I know it doesn't do a lot because it's a silhouette, but like on my CSI earrings, there's letters in there and I didn't want them to be backwards, so I had to mirror it so that it would actually print the right direction. So I clicked continue, and then the next thing we're gonna set up is how what material you were gonna set to cut this stuff. So the first thing I'm gonna do is the purple sheet, which is my vinyl, and I'm gonna click glitter iron on vinyl. You have to choose the right type of material, or else it's not gonna put enough pressure, or it's gonna put too much pressure and it's gonna ruin your mat. I've done that already and it's not pretty. So next you'll see that it says make sure your mirror is on. So yes, I have my mirror on, and then it's gonna tell you to load tools and mat. All right, so this is my maker. You can see that it's telling me to put the mat in, but I haven't had that quite yet. And then I've got my iPad set up, and it's connected to Bluetooth. You can tell it's connected to Bluetooth on your maker because the light will be blue. You can't really see it that well, but it'll be blue. Okay, so let me put this mat together and I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll get this thing cutting. Just wanted to explain something really quick. So before I put this mat together, as you can see on this board thing, it kind of tells me how big of a piece I'm gonna need. It tells you where the mat is on here. So I'm obviously gonna need about 3 inches long and about 2 inches wide, or 3 inches wide and 2 inches short. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna take, to do that, I don't want to waste all this vinyl that I have right here. So I'm actually just gonna cut that out of my vinyl itself so that I'm not wasting it and it's not hard to take off later. So I'm gonna do that really quick here. So then I have my piece of vinyl. It's not very straight, and that's okay because I'm not gonna need it all. So to put iron-on vinyl on a mat, you want to make sure that you're putting the shiny part of this down on the sticky part of the mat. Like, this is the part that is going to be ironed on. It's the adhesive part. So you want to make sure that you have this clear part on the mat itself. Okay, so this is my mat. Okay, so I have this mat here, and I want to make sure to line this up as straight as possible right here on this end. See, it's only really going to cut about to there, so I don't need all this space, but I mean, it's better to have more than not enough, right? You want to make sure this is on pretty darn tight. Sometimes I go through here with my Cricut tool and make sure that this is nice and firm on there. But yeah, so the point is just to get that on really nice and tight, and then we'll show you when I put it in the Cricut. Okay, so I have this on my mat, and now I'm gonna stick this in here, and it's gonna line up with, these 2 little spokes here on the side, and you're gonna push it right up against those black wheels. And then when you'll see the little flashing light there, so I'm gonna hold the bottom of my mat really, really lightly, and then I'm gonna press that button right there. And it's gonna load my vinyl. And then you're going to see the little Cricut logo light up. And you're going to press go. And it's going to cut that vinyl. That is done. And so I'm going to click the unload button again. And it's going to unload that for me. And as you can see, it cut my 2 little stitches out right there. And then we're gonna take that off and put the next mat in. But I'm actually gonna reset my material, and I'm gonna do a light cardstock. So it's telling me that I need to insert my pen, and then I'm gonna need my fine point blade. So I'm gonna show you how to insert a pen really quick. And this little clamp right here is where your pen goes. So I'm gonna take this, and you can see the arrow on the pen itself. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna stick my finger right here underneath the white part, and then I'm gonna push down on the pen until it clicks.
like that. And then I'm going to close my clamp just so it's nice and secure, and then that's how you insert your pen. Again, I'm going to put this paper on my mat, and I'm going to make sure it's nice and secure. So now I'm going to take my mat, and I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier and put it over underneath those two spokes right up against that wheel. And I'm going to press the load button, and now that is set, good to go. And then our little Cricut button is going to light up again. We're going to press go. So then it's going to tell us that it's done. So we're going to click OK, and we're going to unload our mat. And then for this, for the earring part of it, again, I'm going to check my actual mat and see how big my earrings, how much space my earrings take up. So 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches. You can see that. So I have this piece of scrap, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to rotate them a little bit so that it's only going to take up about 1 inch of our space. And I'm going to put it on like that, and then I'm going to take this down here and I'm going to make sure that it's going to be big enough. So I'm actually using a different mat for our leather. I'm using the strong grip mat. It's purple, and this shiny side goes down on the mat, and then this fuzzy side stays up. And then I'm going to stick this back in my Cricut. I'm going to click continue because I've already changed the shape of that. It's going to take a hot minute. And then I already have this one kind of preset for mine as a favorite, but I use this shimmer leather for this. Again, it just takes a fine point blade, but I like the stronger grip just so it doesn't pick it up as it goes through. So I'm going to click my go button and push that in. And then when it's ready, I'm going to click my Cricut button. And now it's done, so I'm going to click my unload button again. Okay, so now we have all the pieces, and so now I'm going to exit out of Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to put my Cricut away really quick, and then I'm going to show you the next step. Okay, so the next step is to peel the mats. So it's really important to peel the mat right, because if you don't, then you can ruin your material. So it's really important that when you peel your mat, you want to make sure that you're folding the mat away from the material, because otherwise your material can curl or it can rip your material off. So this is how I would go about this. I put my mat face down on my surface, and then I would go like this, just like that. Now my material isn't curled, and then this was just cut, so it just kind of pops out of this paper right here. That's the first piece. I'm going to show you how I use my mini press really quick. So I'm going to plug this in and I'm going to get it started to heat up, and I'm going to put it on the second setting. So we'll set that aside for a second. So again, you want to make sure that you are putting your mat face down and that you're peeling away from yourself, the extra access, and then these are sticking on there pretty darn good, which is exactly what I like to see. So there's those earring pieces. These are the 2 earring pieces that we just cut. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to peel our vinyl. So it cut these cute little stitches out for us, but now we just need to take off that extra. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fold it in half, and I'm going to see that raw edge. I'm going to take this and I'm going to just kind of work. I don't want to peel him off, but I want to peel the extra off. So there's our 2 little stitches. Okay, so then I'm going to take one of my earring pieces and I'm going to put it on the shiny side of this, and I'm going to take my little stitch cutout, and I'm going to kind of line him up on my earring how I would like him. So that's how I want him on there. And then I'm going to take my other earring piece and I'm going to do the same thing just so that he looks the same on both. Perfect. So that's how I want him on both of my ears. I actually use parchment paper. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but I use parchment paper and I put him on that on top. I do that just because I don't want it to burn my actual my leather underneath. It kind of helps prevent from burnage. So when your mini press is lit up green, it means it's ready to go.
And I'm going to take it and I'm going to rub on the top of that earring for a good 30-40 seconds. Perfect. I'm going to take that off, and then I'm just going to check it underneath on here. And so I always try to make sure I go really slow, trying to make sure that all my pieces are on there all the way and that it's not going to peel up on me. So there's that one, and that turned out really cute. It came off pretty easy. So that is the first earring that I have. And then what I'd like to do is I take this parchment paper and I put it back over and I reheat it again without the transfer vinyl, the transfer tape on there, just to make sure that I got all of it down and that it's nice and firm on there so it's not going to peel up. And just like that, there's one. Alright, and then I'm going to repeat that process on this one as well, and there you have it. So there are two beautiful earrings. I'm going to take my earring hoops and I'm going to show you how I attach these to the earrings. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and as you can see, it kind of loops around right here, and it comes back in this wire piece. So I'm actually going to separate that right there. And I'm going to separate it just like that. And then I'm going to take my earring, and I want to make sure that the front of it is facing towards the back end of this right here. So kind of put it on backwards a little bit. And our Cricut cut out the hole for us, so it should be pretty easy to put on there. And then the next step is to close this little hoop back up. It kind of takes a little bit of maneuvering and a little bit of practice, but just like that. Oh, there we go. So there's the hoop on that one. So there's that one, and I'm going to do the second one for you as well, really quick, and I'll show you how to do it again, just in case you missed it the first time. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to open this hoop. Can you see this little hoop? Perfect. I'm going to open that hoop up so that it's accessible, and then I can slip the earring in the leather part into it. Just like that. It's gonna look kind of like Captain Hook's little hook there. And then again, I'm gonna make sure that my design is faced down when I put this on. And then again, we're gonna close this loop. Perfect. And just like that, we have two pairs of earrings, stitch earrings. I'm gonna show you how to put these on the backer card. Okay, so this is our backer card. Took the little whole thing there and put the earring through the hole that our Cricut cut, and then I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to lay it down so I don't lose anything, and I'm going to take these backers that we from the beginning of our video, and then I'm going to slide those on just so that these earrings don't fall out. And of course you need backs for your earrings. And just like that, we have a pair of leather earrings with stitch on them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave those down in the comments below, and I hope to do more of these later on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.